Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We're learning new information tonight on the two Bemidji law enforcement officers involved in a deadly shooting last month. They have a clean record. We did some digging after authorities say a deputy and an officer shot and killed 34-year-old Vernon May during a traffic stop in late November. Our Valley News team's Maddie Gelseth requested both officers' personnel files. She joins us live with what she found. Maddie?
Andrea, both Bemidji Police Officer Vidal Duran and Beltrami County Deputy Brandon Newhouse's personnel files say they have both no complaints or disciplinary actions against them. They're the two that were involved in a shooting that happened at the intersection of Ridgeway Avenue and 30th Street Northwest in Bemidji. These files show that Officer Duran joined the police department in January of 2013. He's a Bemidji State graduate and had prior military experience. Public information shows that Officer Duran is in good standing, but is currently on paid administrative leave. The files I requested also state that Beltrami Sheriff Deputy Brandon Newhouse joined the Sheriff's Department as a bailiff in October of 2015. A year later, he got promoted to Deputy Sheriff. The documents say Newhouse is also a Bemidji State graduate and has had several commendations to his name. Deputy Newhouse is also on paid administrative leave. This is an active and open investigation, and since it is, Bemidji Police Chief Mike Masson is cautioning the public against sharing untruthful rumors on this case. He says on his Facebook post that it is important that people not promote a false narrative that spreads hate throughout our community. Chief Masson goes on by saying doing so doesn't allow the Bemidji community to heal and to move forward. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Maddie, for that update. Police in the FM area also say to be careful about what you're posting on social media. Moorhead Police Captain Derek Swenson says to use common sense and to check if it's factual before sending it out.
With us doing an investigation, obviously we're not going to be able to put out everything during an open investigation. We have to hold that pretty close during that investigation. And when citizens decide to put out their own information or do their own investigating and putting out information, it can really jeopardize an investigation.
Captain Swenson says spreading inaccurate information could scare the public, so he's asking people to be patient for information to come out when the investigation is complete. We are rolling into the week with quiet weather and fairly warm weather, too. Hutch, temps could be way worse, especially this time of year.
Indeed, our average highs are in the low 20s here in the Southern Valley teens up north. And notice the change in temperatures as we do go into northern Minnesota. Some teens there in Roseau and Badette for a cool and seasonable day. Still in the 30s, though, down south. A few clouds pushing in, mainly in our northern counties right now, are expected to be increasing as we go through the overnight. That means we won't get too cold too quickly. Temperatures here in Fargo will generally slowly slip into the mid-20s by bedtime tonight, with those clouds building in after that. We'll see teens up in the Northern Valley by bedtime, but again, more clouds expected in the Northern Valley. I'll have details on how long this warm stretch lasts. Indeed, we do have a chance of snow before the holiday makes its way towards us. I'll have details on that in a moment.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A woman is facing multiple charges after an officer was injured after being dragged by her car. On Monday, December 10th, two Grand Forks deputies were conducting a warrant for a woman who is believed to be on the 1100 block of 23rd Street North in Grand Forks. When deputies arrived at the home, officers say they saw the woman and two others get into a vehicle. Authorities say 26-year-old Amanda Marzolf put the car in drive and took off when officers were trying to get the other woman out of the car. There was a high-speed chase, and court documents state that Deputy Ryan Thompson was dragged by the car for a short distance, injuring his shoulder, hip, hand, and knee. Marzolf is facing several charges, including fleeing a peace officer, reckless endangerment, and simple assault. The victims in a weekend crash between a pickup and a horse-drawn buggy near St. Cloud have been identified. It happened late yesterday morning on a county road near Avon, Minnesota. Police say a 23-year-old man driving the pickup hit the buggy from behind as it was traveling along the shoulder of the road, sending it into the ditch. 72-year-old Robert Keppers and 66-year-old Mary Keppers died at the scene, along with the horse that was pulling the buggy. The East Grand Forks Police Department wants your help identifying this person. Their picture's on your screen. They're involved in a current investigation. You can call East Grand Forks Police at 218-773-1104 if you know anything about this person. New developments are on the way for local students with severe behavioral needs. Today, the regional LRE task force is making its final recommendation on the best ways to serve and protect these students and others. That's where we find Valley News Team's education reporter, Veronica Marshall. Veronica, what can you tell us about the task force and what's happening there today?
Thanks, Andrea. So today is a big day for local schools and families. I'm here at the Center for Scouting, where dozens of community members are just behind these doors working to come up with a compromise on how to help students with extreme behavioral needs, their classmates, and their teachers. Now, this LRE task force was created after a rise in unsafe behavior at local schools. Districts reported more teachers were being attacked, while student protection advocates say students were also being hurt. Initially, Fargo Public Schools started a pilot program at Agassiz to work with these students with explosive and disruptive behaviors, but parents and advocates objected, saying the program failed to make good on its promises to families and that separating the students from their peers violated their civil rights. Out of that rose this LRE Behavior Task Force, which is made up of educators, advocates, parents, and other community members from Fargo, West Fargo, and Cass County. Its goal is to come to a decision that all parties can agree on that will give these students the services they need while keeping in mind the safety of others. Now, today is the task force's last meeting. So coming up at 5:30, we should have that final recommendation on how to best serve these students and their communities. I'll also be talking with Fargo School Board member Robin Nelson. So we'll hear from her, she's been on this task force the whole time. So her feelings on today's outcome and what's next. But for now, back to you, Andrea.
All right. Thank you, Veronica. For more on our coverage of this task force, you can head to our website, valleynewslive.com. A shift in the balance of power at the state capitol has boosted the odds of lawmakers passing bills to reduce gun violence. The Democratic takeover of the Minnesota House includes many freshmen who support tougher gun laws. The Senate, where the GOP maintains a one-vote majority, remains a question mark. But the chamber's top Republican is signaling some openness to discussing gun proposals that got blocked in previous sessions. West Fargo is continuing to expand as a new restaurant is open for business. Mackenzie River Restaurant and Pub offers over 93 menu items and has a full bar. While they are best known for their pizza, Mackenzie River also has items like street tacos, pasta, burgers, desserts, and more. What started as a restaurant in Montana has now expanded to 28 different locations, and the people of the FM area are to thank for bringing it to the Valley.
The people in Fargo on all of our exploratory visits have been so friendly that we were dying to move in and serve the good people of Fargo Mackenzie River Pizza.
Mackenzie River is located at 819 24th Avenue West in West Fargo, right off of Veterans Boulevard. If you're looking to get in the holiday spirit, the Red River Zoo has an upcoming holiday night that'll be festive and free. The zoo is offering free admission from Thursday, December 20th to Saturday, December 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. They'll be accepting free will donations to help support the zoo's winter operations. The holiday nights includes free carousel rides, animal encounters, zookeeper talks, sledding, campfires, and more. It's time to call your friends in low places. Country superstar Garth Brooks is adding a second show in Minneapolis. This morning, Brooks and Governor Mark Dayton announced that second show. It'll be on Friday, May 3rd at U.S. Bank Stadium. He'll also perform the next day. Governor Dayton says when tickets went on sale last Friday, they sold out in 90 minutes, leaving at least 50,000 people still wanting tickets. The last time Brooks was in Minneapolis was 2014. Today, former NDSU defensive coordinator Matt Entz was formally introduced as the new head coach of the Bison. Entz took time to thank several former coaches and colleagues who influenced him in his career leading to this point. Entz also got emotional when talking about former head coach Chris Klieman and the positive effect Klieman had on him.
I need to thank Coach Klieman, who's not here today, of course, and his family. You all know how I feel about him. Other coaches that have been critical for me, Coach Nielsen at USD was a big time part of my development. The guys in the back of the room, my only concern is I'm wondering who's putting practice together right now.
The Bison will face Eastern Washington in the national championship game on January 5th in Frisco, Texas, as the Bison seek their 7th national title in the past 8 years.